afternoon to the viewers around the globe watching live or after. Welcome to DOGE FM from the radio broadcast station. We have another live stream. The super cycle has been killed once again. The question is, do we go down now or do we have more chop? We saw something similar occur at the start of the bear market, where it looked like we were going to go down only to get another bounce, and then we went down. Or did we already get that, and now we're beginning our descent? So many questions, no answers. Welcome to another live stream. We got Crypto Rally, Richard Desmond, Camel Blue, Crypto Meowasis, signing closing documents at 2 p.m. My man, congratulations, man. That's a good feeling to have. You're in a good spot, man. I watched one of your live streams. In the first 3 seconds, I saw a Barbie doll. I said, whoa, this guy's living the life. He's got a Barbie doll walking around his house. That's not funny. No, that was actually pretty funny. That was actually pretty funny. But I appreciate the two, man. I appreciate the two. Helps out a lot in times of need. We got Luke John Russell, Qual Gotham, Utsav Shaw, Handle What Quando, Emperor Doge, Lord Narwhal's in the house, Escape Nice Short finally, lesson learned, no more margin trading. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm just too scared, I'll be honest. I had a good ass entry, but the thing that I'm doing is I have to be right on the time and the freaking move. So I'm not 1,000% sure we're going down yet. Like maybe it's obvious, which I do think we're going down, but even this would obliterate me. So if it never comes, it never comes. But yeah, for you, man, I think what you could do is, I think I told you about this. They have an inverse ETF that you can buy. You know, there's a lot of options out there, which I had this too, but I just, you know, we're just in it's such a weird market cycle. And I'm going to explain what I mean, but it's just the weirdest market cycle. You have the S&P in the most bullish environment that it's ever been in, ever. I mean, since 2015, I had a full head of hair. You have 8 green weeks in a row, but then you have Bitcoin going down. It's just like, what are we doing here? And not that it doesn't make sense, because it's very likely that this is what happens, but the fact that you just got so much bullish propaganda, I was kind of hoping we sit here for a little bit. And maybe we still do. I'm not giving up hope yet, but I think I lost my RSI. Yeah, how'd that happen? I lost my RSI. But nevertheless, let's continue the introduction. We got Chris. Oh, no, we don't got Chris. We got Velez, Tyler Durden. I have a question. Say we got to blow off top of 2025. What would have been the oil co-season? When would have been the next oil coin? I'm assuming you meant altcoin season. Yeah, alt season's dead, man. It's never coming back. You'll never hear me. I mean, I'm going to say it, obviously, because when the bull run comes back, I have to get some type of ad revenue, but I'm not banking on alt season ever again. We got Dominic Mysterio. Chris is in the building. I bought Litz at the wrong time. I can't sell now because I won't be able to buy back in for 30 days, so I'll hold and hope. Why won't you be able to buy back in 30 days? Don't you get your cash back the next day? But I actually have that on my watch list. I think it's going to go to 50 cents, maybe even 20 cents. So I could be wrong with the 20 cents, but If it goes to 20 cents, I'm gonna put 2K in. But I mean, if you could afford to, I mean, I don't even know if it's gonna go up. That's the problem. I'm not sure that it's guaranteed to go up because of how poorly Litecoin has been performing. But how you doing, Mr. Chris? We got Demon in the chat. Stab So. We got David B. The word chop doesn't bother me anymore. I'm finally free. Yeah, I'm not free, but I don't have a deadline anymore. Whenever we get it, we get it. It is what it is. I like chop personally because we know we're going down. That's why I like the chop. And when we had chop last time, it was like, why are we so bearish when we're bullish, you know? That was the problem with the bull market. We spent more time being bearish. Now we got chopped, but like we went down twice as fast as we went up. So now the question is, now that everybody knows it's bearish, do they let people short or do they just send it down? And when I say they, I'm referring to anybody who's not me because I don't have any coins to sell. So obviously I can't sell, but look at how oversold we are. I don't know if this is the best time to short. And maybe it is. I'm not a trader. I don't know. I don't. But there's nothing I can do. You know, I mean, everyone has rules they follow. I'm not losing money, but I am losing money that I could be making. And from my experience, it's always better to wish you were making money than to actually lose money. So it is what it is. But how you doing, Mr. David B? MSTR to the moon after October. Lord Narwhal says, I mean, I think it's either we're nuking now or gonna get another test. I hope so, man. Like, I'm not gonna beat myself up because I didn't have a plan. After I lost on here, well, I didn't lose, I just lost a lot of profit. I didn't really have a follow-up plan. I was kind of banking on us just sitting here because of the Moonboy chart, which I understand that the Moonboy chart is not going to dictate everything. But in the back of my head, I'm thinking if we do go down now, then maybe everything I was saying earlier in the year is still going to play out. It just took a little bit longer, which means that we still could rally into August. And then that's where I would strike. You know, like I'm trying to find a position to where you can't lose. Now that's almost impossible to find, but that's what this was. Like I was so confident back here that I took the trade and I made a lot of money, but I gave a lot of it back because we didn't go down. I wasn't sure what was going to happen here. Like I still think it's a bear market, but I wasn't sure if we were just going to go down, and we still don't know. Like, how do we know we don't do one of these? Let me just start the live stream here because there's a lot to talk about today. But how do we know that we don't do one of these? We don't. At least I don't. And if we did do this, I would still lose money. I have to be 100% sure that we're going down, and I'm not. And I'm okay with that, even though it sucks, because I don't want to tell you guys, which again, I do think we're going down. I just don't know when. But I'm not going to be upset. And I'll probably cry off camera. No, I'm just kidding. I'll probably get a little upset, but at the end of the day, we know that every month that goes by now, we're that much closer to the bull market. So, but yeah, I'm a little bit not emotional as far as like an emotional what's the word I'm looking for? My emotions are kind of all over the place. That's what I would say. Because what we did is technically textbook for a bear market, but why is it so bearish with nothing else going down? That's why I'm so torn. Normally, when we capitulate, everything goes down together. But I mean, you have the semiconductors in the biggest bull market since 2019. It's literally you can't you want to see how bullish it is? Close your eyes for 5 seconds and open them. Five, four, three, two, one. Okay, open. Look at that shit. What am I looking at? And now Bitcoin's going to 50K. Like it doesn't have to make sense. It's just kind of frustrating that you have the biggest bull run in history, and then you have Bitcoin shit in the bed, which we're looking for. We're looking for Bitcoin to go down. I just don't know if it's going down yet. You know? And that's what I'm hoping. It's wishful thinking, but I'm hoping we just sit here until the end of June, because after August, I personally will feel very comfortable being very bearish. Even though we are bearish in a bear market, I can't rule out something like this. I'm not saying it has to come, but if it does, people are going to get obliterated. It's definitely frustrating. But then I look at this, and if you just eliminate all your theories for a moment and just look at it from a historical perspective, we just got something from 2022. I remember someone in the chat told me about this indicator. They called it a blood diamond, and I said I always wondered when we would get another one where it's just so bearish that you're about to go straight down. And you got one here, but we never got one here. But we just got it on the 8-day time frame, which is even more bearish. So I'm like, dude, are we about to... And then I'm thinking to myself, what if we are in here and I just missed the largest move down? Like, what if we're about to go down to 38K, then bounce? Yeah, but see, even if we bounced, I would feel comfortable shorting this. But there's not enough time for that. There's too many moving parts, at least for me, right? And I'm not a trader, so obviously if you're a trader, people probably shorted much higher, which I wanted to, but not that this is an excuse, but every time I leave, it's always the top or the bottom, right? I went on vacation here somewhere. I remember I was on the toilet and I said, dude, there's no way we're going down right now. And that was and that was the top. I swear I was watching it. I was like, dude, there's no way we're going down right now. It is what it is, you know. It's not an excuse though. I had more than enough time to plan. But I like taking trades when I know the outcome. I don't know if we're gonna go like this and then go like this. Which obviously this was a good trade for whoever took it. But as David B likes to point out, I'm one of those all or nothing people. I want to take an entry to where I can just hold it until the bottom. I don't want to have to babysit it. And if we bounce like this back up to 74K, technically it would be the same thing as shorting up here for me because of what I'm trying to do, which is why I'm not ruling it out. But it's just emotional circle of what if, what if. And there's also a world where we just go straight down from here. But if we did, then that does open up the possibility to go long at the bottom, because we know that the bottom is not in the summer. The bottom is over here. So if we go straight down from here, there's going to be a chance to go long. And when that long comes, that's where the ultra bearish move is. Like something like this is possible too. And that's what I'm trying to say. And I admitted to myself, like, I don't know what it's going to look like. So in my head, everything's always, oh, well, it's going to go straight down like this, but it might not. It might do like a bunch of chop, which obviously if you're trading with leverage, you're going to do fine with that, but it's unfortunate. I'll admit emotions are definitely high. Not that I didn't lose any money. I just didn't make any money. And I'll admit it is very frustrating when you know it's going down and you still don't do anything. But that's what trading is. It's very difficult. But the only reason why I didn't do anything is because of the Moonboy chart. It's like, why are we behaving the way that we're behaving? And there's only two explanations here. Either we are just going to go down quick and then rally, which that's what I wanted originally, but back here, like this, or this is where the easy money would be coming out of this. Or we're not going down yet. We're going to bounce and then go down. Because I have no reason to be bullish after August. Zero. This is the only thing keeping me bullish. And some people will think I'm an idiot, which is totally fine. That's why I don't talk about it anymore. But that's what it is. That's why I took the trade here, because I knew there was an extremely high probability that we were going down right then and there from this moment. And I looked at Coinbase, and that's another thing. I'm looking at Coinbase and I'm like, it's not really moving. Like, we're not really doing anything. But that doesn't mean we can't go down. That's why I'm just accepting my L. I missed it. You know, if we get a big bounce, then I'll get a chance. If we don't, I missed it. There's nothing I can do. But once again, the top signals were there. People were calling me names. You don't know how many people I blocked in my YouTube comments up here saying I'm a bottom. The bottom is in. This guy's a bottom signal, blah, blah, blah. And literally as I'm blocking them, the top is forming. It's the same thing every time. And we just fade it every time. I got called the same thing here. We can't be bearish. Stock market's too bullish. Literally straight down. Stock market's too bullish. Straight down. It's never going to end. It's always the same. And then when we're at the real bottom, people are going to be like, oh, it's a bear market. But we're going to be ready this time. That's why it sucks right now, but in 2 years, I'll be glad I didn't lose all my money in the bear market. It does suck right now, but I'm starting to wonder if we're in here. Because if you look at Coinbase, it kind of looks like that, where you're just forming a ginormous bear flag. And it looks like it's starting to break down, actually. But I'm not going to freak out. If we do get the bounce, I'm going to be very happy. If we don't, what am I going to do? You know, I can't do anything. So, but yeah, now we know. Now we know we're definitely going down. So unfortunately for the people that bought in already, it's not looking too good. The question is there going to be a bounce, or are we just going straight to hell? That's it. After you sell a stock, I'm a verified day trader. I can't buy back in for 30 days. It's a wash trading rule. Yeah, but isn't wash trading only for like losses? Like, yeah, no, if you sell, you can't buy back in for 30 days. There's nothing wrong with that, though. You have 6 months. Yeah, what's the problem with that? If you sell this and it goes to 30 cents, you can buy back in, but that's going to be like 5 months from now, 4 months from now. Yeah, I mean, I'm not telling you to sell, but I really do think this thing is going to 50 cents, man. I think it's going to 50 cents. We got Non-Ngoyan says, after the second eclipse, I am selling all my crypto. Never send $1 to the Coinbase. This space is done. Yeah, crypto's done, man. The old season is never happening ever again. We got Minority Voice for 10 says, there was a Head and Shoulders on the 4-hour or daily, played out flawlessly. I shorted it. Tried to tell you. I tried to hit you on X, playing around, making no money. I appreciate the 10. I don't have X. I uninstalled it. It's the biggest waste of time. But I appreciate the 10. Yeah, we knew it was bearish. We just don't know if it's time to go down right now or if we're going to bounce again. That's all it is. The question is, are we going to go like this, like in 2022 down here? Kind of like this? Or are we going to do this? That's the question here. But I appreciate the 10 and the little insult. You're playing around making no money. I'm not playing around. I made the money on this one, but then I gave some of it back because we chopped for so long. Now I'm trying to see, are we going to get this bounce or are we not? If we don't, then I can't really do anything. But I appreciate the 10. Sailor buys billions in Bitcoin. It does nothing. Yeah, because that stuff doesn't matter, man. That stuff doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your name is. Sub 50K. Yeah, I know, man. Trust me, I know. I'm waiting to see what happens here. Because, like I said, if we know the bottom is in November, we can't just go like this. It's impossible. Bitcoin never does that. It moves impulsively. So if we go down like this, then there has to be a bounce. There has to be. Even in 2022, there was a bounce. So if I catch this to there, it's not perfect, but it's enough, you know? That's where I'm struggling right now. Because what you're saying is true, but if we do get this bounce, you're still going to eat you're still going to eat some loss on that, you know, because of the decay. But I get it. That's what I'm looking at, but I don't know. You know, like even this, just this little ass bounce would cause a lot of the stuff to fall. But I'm okay with it. I hit on the one I needed to hit on, so I'm alive. But I have to start thinking of what's gonna come. No matter what happens. Yeah, dude. I was looking at MSTR and the shit did a 3x even on this little ass bounce. So I was like, whoa. So there's a way out of here. It sucks it didn't play out the way I wanted it to. But I'm all right. I'll figure it out. But I appreciate the 10, man. Alts are done. Yeah, and the reason why this is kind of annoying too is the dominance is going down again. So it's like we're setting up for another crappy bull run where the dominance is falling as Bitcoin is falling. We don't want that. We want the dominance to go up. So when we get an old season, it's a real old season. The problem is we're now doing this propaganda where it looks bullish because the alts are not falling, only for the dominance to go up in the next bull run. So it is what it is. It's just a weird bear market. It is. You have SPY doing 2020 bull run. You have MSTRs not moving. It is what it is. Cost to produce Bitcoin in 2028 will be 109. Compound that. Yeah, no, I'm not, what's the word I'm looking for? I know what I have to do. It's just, it's tough swallowing the pill because I did do really good in the beginning of the year. It was perfect. I just stayed in too long. And now I'm gonna miss this. But I'm gonna make a plan. Because there's only so many outcomes, you know? Like even if I miss this, let's just say, even if we go down like this and it's August, we know that's not the bottom. So we have to bounce. And because we know that's not the bottom, if we do bounce, we're going to know that it's bearish again. If we don't do this and we bounce here, then we'll know it's still bearish. My only concern is, what if we just do this, you know? But at the end of the day, I messed up. It is what it is. MSTR to the moon after October. Yeah, I'm starting to think that if we're really this bearish, maybe MSTR is actually here. And we're going to get a big nuke. I can't believe it's already June, man. Holy crap. We got 4 months left, guys. Now I'm getting I guess when I put it that way, I get a little bit excited. Like, we got 4 months left. It's just so easy looking back at what you could have done, what you should have done, you know? But at the end of the day, I'm glad I'm not losing. It's just, man, we knew it was going down there. Tough pill to swallow. You ain't missing shit. We leave the red box. Yeah, I know, but I'm talking about on the way down. But the toughest pill to swallow is time. Can't be here for the live. Gotta work. It's all good, man. I appreciate you stopping by. 4 months left of what? There's 4 to 5 months left of the bear market. I'll admit it's a little frustrating for sure, knowing it's gonna go down and just still messing it up. It's because I got wrecked on this bounce here. That's why I'm like scared. This little bounce literally destroyed me. Cause I got out here right before it went up. And it's just like, so frustrating. When you think it will turn, I think the bull market should start. Technically, it might be right on par with last time where January, February, we start going up. But I'm not going to act like I know, right? That's been my biggest flaw always. I always act like I know exactly what's going to happen. But I don't know what's going to happen because I don't know what's about to happen here. Like, if we go right down like this, I would say this would be technically, even though I don't want this to happen, this would be our best case scenario. Basically what I was looking for in April, where we go down and then we bounce around for the summer, and then we go down to the bottom at the end of the year. The members, I make membership videos explaining this, but essentially we need to sit through about 5 or 4 months of accumulation. So if we went down here, this would be our best case scenario as Moon Boys. We come down here into the summer, that marks the bottom of the capitulation, and then we enter 3 to 4 months of accumulation. Now, we'll put the low in somewhere here, but the true accumulation has already been underway since July, which means the stock RSI, the MACD, blah, 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 would already be turning bullish, which means starting in January, we can start going up. That's what happens every time, believe it or not. You put the low in here, and the MACD and everything started curling up. Unfortunately, I thought that would be the case this summer, which you could clearly see the stock RSI went up, but we stopped. We went up. We didn't go down. I think for us, this would be the best case scenario. This would be the most predictable scenario. We would enter accumulation in the summer, get the spike into the summer. Everybody says bottom's in, and then we go down and put the bottom in. But you would be doing something like this where you're already in accumulation. It happens every market cycle. If it wants to play not nice, which at this point I kind of hope it does, if she wants to play rough, we would get a bounce here. Everybody would say, I told you the bottom was in. And then we would go down into the end of the summer. That would be my preferred scenario, which is why it's not happening. But then we would sit down here for a while. Because you have to sit down here for a certain amount of time for the momentum to reset. You know, like if you look at it from this perspective, you see how the RSI stayed down here for months? You kind of need to go through some type of period where you stay down here. This was November all the way until March. So what is that? December, January, February, 4 months. Some might argue that already started in February, but that shit ain't happening. If we go all the way down here, that RSI is going much lower. So the only thing I would tell you guys is if you don't have to short, but don't bag hold all the way down because it's going to get nasty. And the biggest lesson I learned, which is why I struggle right now, I don't want to lose any more money. But if the bull run started today, I would have enough money to where I could get all my money back. I know I can. I don't want to lose any more money. So if you just don't lose any money, you're winning. It stinks. PU. How can I send you indicators? I don't even know, man. I knew it was bearish. I just was hoping it would stay up a little bit longer. Because you know what it is, man? This is the truth. I'm not afraid of the direction. I'm afraid of the time decay. That's where I get screwed. There's no way to prevent time decay. You have to be precise. And that's why I lost a lot of money on this. Because the price never moved, but the time decay killed me. So I have to be like 100% sure that it's going down. That's the problem. You know, like as far as time. But now we know. Question is, are we getting the bounce or are we not? But there's no more indicator. Like I don't need the indicators. Not that I don't want them, but we know it's going down. The question is, are we going down now or are we not? And it looks like we might be. So you don't lose until you sell. That's really, really, it's a really, really bad, really, really bad mindset, man. That propaganda doesn't work anymore. I'm telling you guys, if you're holding right now, everything's about to get slashed. If you don't think it can, I've sat through this. This is going to be my third bear market. The coins are going to get slashed in half. The question in my mind is, do we do it right now or do we do it? I mean, I guess if you look at it from this perspective, there's really not that much time left. Do we get this bounce? Yeah, see, I don't know. Do you think this is possible? This is technically enough. It's tough. But oh well. I think we may just chop around for a few weeks. I want to say I hope so, but the momentum is turning bearish. You know? The momentum is turning bearish. We know it's going down. The question is, are we going down now or are we going down in July? That's the only question here. $20 million at 0.08, selling at 45 in March. What are you talking about? Hold on a second. Should be here, right? 1 second. I'm not selling yet. I'm gonna panic sell the bottom. Other chart looks bullish. There's no bullish, man. The only question remains, do we go down now or are we going down next month? That's the only question there is. Let me run a poll. Oh wait, my bad. My bad. We're going down now. I'm holding out hope. I'm holding out hope there's going to be a little scam bounce. Even if it's something like this, where we just kind of sit here. Nah, it's not really going to do anything. I need something a little bit bigger. Seller only sold a small amount to create fear. No, we're going much lower than 56K, man. If we're really going down here, the projected bottom is supposed to be below 44,000. If the war ended, I don't think the narrative matters, man. There's not even a reason why we're going down right now. Because there doesn't have to be. It's bearish. There doesn't have to be, man. There does not have to be. There's just so much room to go down. There's so much room to go down. Oh, man. 50K will be the bottom. I mean, listen, every time we go down, the bottom is in, right? At some point, the bottom will be in, but this was the bottom, then this was the bottom. Especially if it's just a little move down, then that's another bottom, and then we bounce, and then the next bottom comes. The bottom, listen, from a math perspective, the bottom's supposed to be below 44,000. Doesn't mean it has to happen, but you got to respect the cycle. Up until this point, technically we're doing everything that has always happened from a what's the word I'm looking for? Not a momentum perspective, because we're not doing that, but I can't think of a word to use other than the simulation, right? The simulation where we come up to the 200-day moving average and then we go down. I was using the short-term holder realized price, which is almost the same exact thing. It's just, if that is going to be true, we always bottom below the realized price, which is technically much lower. Here's your free information. Here's your free brochure from the Goblin. Here's your free brochure from Goblin Town. Every time we go below the realized price. Right now, the realized price is 48K. So this time we went below by 20%. This time we went below by almost 30%. This time we went down below by almost 30% as well. So we might be looking at sub 48K. I think 44K. The only question in my mind is it now or is it in 2 months? And to some, that might not matter, but to me, it's everything. It is. The time is just as important as the price. Pepe and Doge will survive. Well, I think if Doge breaks the low from 2022, It's not guaranteed, dude. Like, I would like to think that it does, but I mean, if we just run through the 2017 coins, Cardano is never going back up. Chainlink is maybe Chainlink could. EOS obviously never going back up. Ethereum Classic is never going back up. I'm going to assume Litecoin probably not. I think if Litecoin breaks the 2022 low, the top is probably in forever. I have to assume if Doge breaks the 2022 low, the top is probably in forever. Now, the bullish propaganda that I was thinking about that I'm going to spew the next market cycle so I can grift is we're going to get a larger version of this. Yeah. Yeah. Where we basically sat through a retracement and the bottom is going to be at the end of 2027 and then we're going to get a big bull run. This will be my grift chart. But the reality is I gotta have it maybe. I'm gonna have to pivot from Doge, I think. I'm still gonna cover Doge, but I'm gonna use MSTR to as my content ground. So look at this guy. Ready? Actually, never mind. Dear Ethereum Classic. Yeah, Ethereum Classic is dead. That shit's never going back. There needs to be a bounce. Sentiment is so bearish. There doesn't have to be a bounce. There doesn't have to be a bounce. I hope there is. But all right, emotions were a little bit high for a second. Let's come back down to earth. Let's reel everyone back in. I am a little bit upset because the semiconductors are just so bullish. It's kind of like a paradigm shift. Because if you look at the semiconductors, you've never seen a capitulation without the semiconductors. So that means there's three options here, which obviously is not very helpful, but the first option is we're simply doing something like 2018 where it's not yet time to capitulate. Because in 2018, even when we did capitulate, they both crashed together. They bottomed at the same time. So maybe we're in something like this where we're going to get a big bounce and then we go down. That would be the best case scenario. Even in 2022, when we capitulated, the semiconductors capitulated. Now this one is slightly different, but you can still see that the semiconductors pulled back heavily. And then they ultimately capitulated later, but they still pulled back. There's never been a time where they're going straight up. So what I'm hoping is two things. Either this is going to go like this as we go down, or it's not time to go down yet. Obviously, the third option is we just go down anyway because the market doesn't give a shit. But It's true. It's you've never had it before. They always go down together. So if this is going to be the first time they don't, which again, I'm not sitting here telling you that this was capitulation because we still went up and made a new all-time high, but if you go back to 2015, this thing did fall by 40%. Look at that. I think it was here, right? Yeah. So unless we're about to get one of those puppies, maybe it does happen. It's never happened before where the semiconductors are going straight up to where you can't even get in and Bitcoin is going straight down. Unless we're not going straight down and we're just going to get a bounce. But I think if we get a bounce, it might be too easy, so we might not get one. But that's what makes trading trading. You don't know. You got to take the risk. But I'm looking at other options as far as, well, let's just say you got in here and then we bounced. You're wrecked. If you got in here and we don't bounce, you're not wrecked. If we get in here and we break down, then you miss the trade, but you know it's going to bounce because it always does. That is a trade right there. This is also another trade. This is actually two trades. So I'm just going to let it do its thing. I'm not getting in the way. Whatever happens, happens. We've got 4 months of the bear market left. If I made it this far, I can wait 4 more months. When do Cardano will moon? I don't think Cardano is ever going back up, unfortunately. The chat said that you sold already, so I thought you were gone. Yeah, Cardano is done, man. I think Cardano's coming down here, unfortunately. If you look at it, it's a big retracement. You had a bear market, you had a 618 retracement, and this is a continuation to the downside. Kind of like what happened here to a lesser extent, because obviously this isn't the 618, but it was close enough to the 382. I guess if you draw it to here, it's a continuation pattern. It's bearish. The problem is Dogecoin has that too. The problem is Ethereum. I'm not even sure Ethereum is going to go back up. I would like to think this should be a big double bottom, and then it could go up. That would be our fantasy. ETH goes back to 1,000 for a ginormous double bottom, and then it goes to 10,000. I just don't have the faith in crypto anymore. Crypto sucks. Listen, this is what it is. Crypto has been grifted out. In 2017, all the grifters jumped on the first train. I didn't think to grift. I just sat and watched. In 2021, I jumped on the grift train and we saw the shittiest bull run in history. There's too many grifters. Imagine what happens in the next bull run. It's going to be terrible. But I do think there's enough juice to where we can get something. We can get something. But crypto is dead. It's been all grifted. That doesn't mean there's not money to be made. There's always going to be money to be made. But it's just too difficult to pick the right coin. You know it's too difficult to pick the right coin when you pick the number 2 coin and it still doesn't go up. Now, you did get a 5x almost, but you had to sit through 3 90% drawdowns. Okay, that was an exaggeration. You had to sit through 3 50 to 60% drawdowns. So it's like, why bother? You're better off just buying stocks. Crypto has shown its true colors, and now they don't even try to hide it anymore. This space ruined my life. I would say the same thing, but I have to take accountability. I had my chance. I blew it. Some people don't even get a chance. At least I had a chance. But the good news is we're going to get another chance in 4 months. Let's not get what happened to my poll? Oh wow. Oh, but only 57 people voted. All right, so the chat says we're going to break the low in May. Time for Sol meme coins. I'm never ever putting money on Solana ever again. Maybe if I have a lot of money. I'm never touching this rubbish. Long-term holding is not the play anymore. It's not. But listen, I'm not surprised. Some of you guys, if you've been watching the live stream, you shouldn't be surprised. I'm just disappointed because we went down much faster than anticipated. But I'm not surprised we're going down. Like, look at what we have drawn. It's down. I was just hoping maybe they would maybe they'll move it for me a little bit. But the reality is holding is dead unless you're buying Bitcoin. And we get these little windows to make money. It's the same way for the upside and the downside. We only went down for 3 weeks and then we were bullish for 4 months, 3 months. Here in 2025, we went down for 2 weeks and then we were bullish for 2 months. So if we're about to go down, we'll probably be down there by July, which means if we just sit here for 2 weeks, we're not going down. Damn, I just talked myself into some hopium. It's true though. Like when we go down, we don't really go down for that long. This whole move was done in 6 weeks. This whole move was done in 3 to 4 weeks. We've already been going down for 4 weeks. So if we're still here in June, we're probably not going down until later. Or we should be down there by 3 weeks from now. We might be at 52,000. I don't think there's an in the middle because that's how it's been the whole time. Even when we're bullish, like you just sit here for months and the move is from October to December. It was 2 months bullish. This one was the only time it was actually bullish the whole way through. But even last time, you went down for 3 weeks, then you went sideways for 5 weeks. Then you went down for 3, 4 weeks. Then you went sideways for 20 weeks, whatever it was. The problem is it's not like that when you go backwards. It's like it's getting worse the more you scroll to the right. So the next market cycle, the reason why I'm chatting like this is because you're going to get a bull run for like 2 weeks, a month or 2, and then it's going to go sideways for 6 months. That's why we cannot miss the initial move off of the low, because if you do, you're going to have to sit through 7 months of sideways, which is going to make you go insane. It will make you insane. We just sat through, we're still going sideways. If we bounce here, technically, you're still going sideways. This is just the most action we've seen in months. But I'm not, listen, if someone told me I'm gonna shoot you in the face if you're wrong, will we break the low in the next 2 weeks? I can't confidently tell you. I know, I don't know. We might sit here. Because the same thing did happen in 2022 where you looked like you were getting ready to go to zero and then you just sat here for 2 months. I hope that happens. I don't know if it's gonna. You could say something like this even too. You sat here April 10th and you didn't actually break down for another month. I would take that too. I would accept that. But now we know. If you didn't know before, now you do. We're going down. The only question is when. The guy with the gun isn't gonna like that answer. Yeah, I know. I know. Yo, maybe today's the bottom. I'm banning a lot of people in the chat today. Hang on a second. Bans are usually reversal signs. I'm up to 2 bans already. Hold on a second. I banned a boatload of people up here. Come on, baby. Give us that bounce. Bottom is in, chat. No, I'm just kidding. I gotta get some water. Give me about 30 seconds. All right, we're gonna be all right, guys. We're gonna be all right, guys. Pour one out for the missed dreams. Zcash soars while Bitcoin crashes. What does that mean? Yeah, such a weird bear market, dude. Such a weird bear market. But at the end of the day, we got to stop obsessing with perfection. Perfection is my Achilles heel. You're my obsession. Perfection is my Achilles heel. I'm pretty sure to reach maximum capitulation, the IBIT ETF has to go underwater. That's a bold statement to make because that's still another 42%. But I think that's maximum capitulation. Think about it. If you have all the entities that bought in underwater, that's full-blown capitulation. How many mom and pops are going to sell their Bitcoin if they're underwater? And by default, they literally have to be underwater if we went to $22. $22 is 42% from today. 42% from today is 38,000. Wow, that's really low. That's exceptionally low. How high do I think the bounce could go? We might not get it, dude. I don't know. I'm okay with admitting I don't know because I don't want to say something that's going to get somebody wrecked. And even myself, I think 38K is almost impossible, but never say never. Yeah, that's the thing though. We don't know. And from a math perspective, it's actually likely because as we know, every bear market, the bear market is getting weaker and weaker. And the last bear market was 78%. So if we fell by 70%, that puts us at 37K. That would still fit the propaganda of the shrinking bear market. It went from 83 to 77. That's a 6% decline. Another 7% decline would be 70%. I think it's too low. I think 42 to 40 because of the realized price. But again, if you're going to be as strict with your formula as possible, look at the size of the gap between the realized price and the bottom. This is about 20%. This one was actually about 30%. It was 4,400 and 3,200. This one was also 30% of 300 and 175. That means if our realized price right now is around 47,000, 48,000, 20% would be 40,000. And that lines up with what has always happened. And unfortunately for us, what always happens is happening again, where we went up to the 200-day moving average and got rejected. So far, this was another big giveaway. I tried to show as much as I could, but this was one of the biggest giveaways that it was bearish. This just made another low today, by the way. The MVRV did not move. We knew it was bearish. We just don't know if we're breaking the low now or we're breaking the low later. That's the only question. Because for me, what I realized was every time we start a real bull market, this green indicator goes up. Every time. And it didn't go up this time, which means that we did not start a bull market. And the fact that it just made another low means we're bearish. The question I keep saying is, are we going down now or are we going down in 2 months? And I don't know the answer to that. It's easy to say we're going down now, and maybe it's obvious, but is it? I don't know. What if we do just sit here like this? And we bounce into July. But that's what I'm talking about. That's what we were looking for. What if we do just sit here and then we bounce into July and then we go down to the bottom? That's unfortunately, being someone who's not a trader, those are the kind of questions I ask. But there's no question of should I buy in because I'm going to go to the moon. It's impossible. The moon doesn't exist. Not for another 6 months. So if you're, and I get it, for most people, and there's no question, it's much easier making money in a bull market. It's so much easier. So if you'd rather just wait for the bull market, then you can just wait. There's only 4 months left, literally. 4 months gonna go by like that. It's been 4 months since the freaking low got put in. So you just have to sit through that again. And then you have a full 2.5 years to make as much money as possible. So if you just want to sit on your hands, there's nothing wrong with that. For some people, you might be better off just buying Bitcoin. Because if Bitcoin went to 40K, I mean, technically, even I would probably, I know I can beat that. I know I can beat that. Wasn't there a commercial back in the day? Beat that. Beat it. Bop it. Was it bop it? Beat that. I know I can beat that. Because I don't think Bitcoin is going higher than 160K next time. Because I don't know if David B is still here, but I remember even back here, we were saying that it shouldn't really get that high. And I said XRP would probably go to $3 to $5. It went to $3. Like, we knew it was going to be dinky. I didn't think it was going to be that dinky. So the next bull run is going to be even more dinky, where we go to 42,000. The next top is probably going to be like 160. Dinky. I feel like I can beat that. A 275%. I mean, if you just bought the 3x leveraged SPY ETF. Oh my God. Oh my God. And I don't like saying God. I like saying gosh, but look at that. You're better off buying stocks at this point. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Especially if we get a COVID crash, there's no point of buying crypto anymore. Now we got to start having that conversation. Are we going to get a COVID crash, or is the stock market never going down? Now we can start having the legitimate conversation. Is the S&P truly the best asset in history? Or are we about to get a COVID crash? Something we've never seen since 2020, where the S&P is going up. Not only is the S&P going up, but it's going up at it almost looks exactly like what we're doing. There's one red bar in here too, just straight up as Bitcoin is going down. It makes you wonder, are we on the cusp of some type of COVID phenomenon? Obviously, it's not going to be COVID, but I don't know what it is. It's going to be some rubbish. But the rubbish has always shown up on time. It happened in 2018 too. Bitcoin was doing nothing. S&P was holy crap. Rubbish spawns in. Lord Narwhal writes the code for the rubbish and he hits enter and it just spawns in. You can't see it when you're in the moment, but it comes. That's why I'm thinking to myself, dude, this is it's too bullish. It doesn't seem real. But that doesn't mean it's going to go down. You want to see something that irks me? Look at this. This is my favorite chart. Oh, that's the word I'm looking for. You want to get triggered? This is my trigger chart. Triggered. Look at that shit. And then if you scroll back to 2019, it's not even that bad. Oh my, but that's what I'm saying. What if we did get that? Oh my God, look at that. Imagine we're right here. Boom, boom. And then you get in and then it does this. Oh, sweet baby carrots. What is my saying? Sweet. What did I say last time? Sweet peas and baby carrots? Sweet potatoes? What did I say? Something. What if that's what it is, though? Because that's what it looks like when you're in the moment. And then... Oh, wait, it's here. Right? Let me get a better time frame for you. Like, I know it can't happen, but what if it does? So we're here. We're right here. Ba-bam. Bam. Ba-bam. Ba-bam. What if that's... Oh, shit. That scared me. Jump scare. Oh, jump scare. Like, I know it can't happen, but what if it does? But I'm starting to think it's not happening because we just sat... Like, this thing literally just did 7 months of accumulation. It makes me kind of upset, but the semiconductors might go on a god run. Like, this might be the run of runs because the semiconductors just sat through 10, almost 9 years of consolidation. And that's what makes me so upset. Is Shrek 2 my favorite movie of all time? It's up there. It's probably in the top 10. Yeah, it would be really nice if we did just sit here. Do you guys think that's possible? Did we make a higher low or no? Uh, did we? Oh, that looks so bad. I had to watch 3 ads to get to the live stream. I appreciate that. We got a lot of viewers today. That's good. We got a lot of viewers today. I got insulted by Minority Voice. We had a couple people get banned. Do we have a recipe for a bottom? Maybe. Is this trend? Can we make this a trend? Bullish? Isn't the RSI like off the screen? Yeah, it is. It's matching the low here. Man, we gotta get one more bounce, dude. Please. I beg of you. Please, I beg of you. Right? Please, I beg you, sir. Spare me. Just one more bounce. Just one more. And then you have Coinbase and MSTR not really dropping that bad. You know? Like, this is a legit uptrend. I'm not telling you guys to get in because there's no, this is like a piece of paper holding it up, or a piece of tinfoil. This is a piece of tinfoil holding up the price. But I just, maybe there's that one more bounce. Yeah, and can somebody explain this to me? Because it seems to be an unbeaten strategy. Why are we always bearish into the first week of the month and then it turns bullish? It happened in February. It happened in March. It happened in April. Is there something that goes on the first week of the month that's bearish? Someone's going to tell me it's the full moon. The full moon is bearish. June is always bearish. What would the benefit of another bounce be? It would be kicking the can down the road. Imagine thinking the moon is related to the price. Yeah, I never understood that, the full moon and the new moon. I really never got it because it's like different every time. But I just couldn't help but notice why we're always bearish into the beginning of the month, and then it's like you're bullish from the 8th till the 20th, and then it turns bearish. It's so bizarre. Paychecks, people only get paid on the first of the month. It's just something to talk about. It doesn't really matter. Now you want to see something really bearish, you take it off log. Now you really see how bearish it is. Holy macaroni and sweet potatoes. What did I say? Sweet peas and baby carrots? Sweet carrots? Sweet beans? String beans? Yeah, now it's super bearish. Imagine we're in 2018 and not 2022. It's killing me that you're scoffing at the full moon while still liking the moon boy chart. Yeah, I'm not scoffing at the full moon. I just don't understand it. There's a lot of people that make a lot of money with that. I just don't get it. They gotta sell to make the living situation. I don't think Bitcoin cares about people paying rent. There's probably a chart that shows you how many people are actually in. Imagine we're in 2018. It would be nice. I think I'm just trying to cope with missing the big move down. That's all. I think I'm just gonna cope. Even though I didn't miss it yet, you know it's coming, guys. You know it's coming. Don't fight it. Yeah, I learned when you start fighting shit, it never ends well. Don't fight it. The move down is coming. We just don't know if it's next week or if it's next month. True Moon Boy. Yeah, it's to be honest, it's the only thing that's keeping me from shorting. I'm gonna be dead honest with you. The only reason I didn't short up here was because of the Moon Boy chart. And you could laugh at me. The only reason I shorted here was because of the Moon Boy. Like I shorted beforehand, but I faded it because it said to get out, but I didn't want to believe it, and I got wrecked. I didn't get wrecked, but I gave back a lot of money. The only reason I'm not shorting right now is because of this orange line. It sounds dumb, but listen, if we get some type of scam rally, I'm going full bear, full max bear. Max bear, baby. Max bear. But it's true. I'll admit, it's the only thing that's keeping me from shorting. Maybe I'm a fool. Maybe I am a fool. I'm not afraid to admit it. But we technically didn't break down yet. So I know a lot of people shorted today. And I also know that based on the liquidation map, people are scared to go long. It doesn't mean that we can't go up. I'm sorry. It doesn't mean that we're not going to go down because we are at some point. But from the video this morning, the very same liquidation map that we're using, look at where all the longs are. They're gone. Everyone is scared to long. Which that doesn't mean that it's bullish. That's bearish if everyone is scared to go long. But look at everybody that's shorting. If we went to 74K, we would liquidate all of this money. That doesn't mean we have to go up there because at some point we're going down. But even on the 30-day time frame, there's just nobody longing. Everybody's either scared or they're already liquidated. But if we just pump back to 70K, we're going to start liquidating so many people. You got to go all the way to the 90-day time frame to start seeing the money again. But then look at how big it is up here. So this alone is not a reason to be bullish. It's not. But it's like, who's here? There's nobody left. But I'm coping. I'm coping that we're gonna get a bounce. Don't listen to me. I'm just coping today. Everything says we're about to go straight down. Ugh. It is listen, I could be upset about it, and I am a little bit upset. I'll admit I am upset. You guys want to know why? Because I called this, and I'm not saying I called it like, oh, I called it. I called QCOM to myself. I said I should get in before it goes. It literally went straight up after the fucking sorry, I'm so good at not cursing lately. I've been very good at not cursing because I'm trying to leave that behind me. Foul language is really not something that I enjoy. The day I was gonna buy in pre-market, it gapped up. Right here. It was early in the morning, and it was at 1:30, and it gapped up, and I never got in. Which is an excuse, because I could have gotten in at any time. But I like having really solid entries, because as Lord Narwhal knows, and everyone that trades knows, your entry is one of the most important things in a trade. If your entry is shit, it doesn't matter if you're right, you're still wrong. Even though we knew we were going down, if you didn't get a good entry, it's tough to do anything. For me, I didn't want to get in because my entry was here, or it was going to be, but it gapped up. But that's an excuse that all bad traders make. Oh, I missed it, which it's fine. I never FOMO'd in. So that's the first one. Then I had the microcomputer. Some people in the chat were saying this thing sucks. I saw this at $27, and I was like, I should get in. But then it gapped up, and I was like, all right, I'm not getting in. It pulled back, but I just didn't do anything. So this I can't really get mad at, because like I had the chance to get in, but I didn't. But still, look at how high it is. My point is, in my little notebook that I have, I keep making these really good plays on a scrapbook, but I keep obsessing over the best entry possible. So I missed this one too. And now I just sat on here for the last 3 weeks telling you guys, oh, well, maybe it's a super cycle, but historical data says we're going down. And we went straight back down. And now I'm telling you, all data says we should go below 50K. Something inside of me says it's not time to go down yet. And that's why I'm upset, because I'm like, all the trades I keep writing in my notepad are all happening without me. But my gut says something doesn't feel right. Like we should get something. If we don't, we don't. But that's why I'm so tilted today. Because I could have had so many good trades. My problem is I want to go in too heavy, so I missed them. And I might miss this because I'm trying to go all in, or not go all in, but I'm trying to go in heavy, and that's not, and like I say, I'm openly telling you, I'm not a trader. I'm not a good trader, and I'm not a trader. I'm positive for the year, which is a good sign, but this will be the first time I close a bear market green. But I gave back a lot of gains from February. So I'm kind of like a little bit nervous. And that's why I'm upset, because I did have an entry here. I don't know, are we really about to go down? The only thing that's stopping me is my Moonboy chart. But I'm also respecting the 4-year cycle. There is a world where we do go down before the summer is over, and then we rally into the summer. Basically, what I'm saying here is I think the direction of Bitcoin is up into August because of the Moonboy chart. I just don't know what happens before that. Do we go down and then up? Or are we about to put the low in, then we go up, and then we go down? Now, I'm not saying I'm going to be correct. I'm openly telling you I'm not a trader. There's better YouTubers out there. This is just what I'm looking at. But there's no way in hell I'm bullish. I'm not bullish right now either, but there's no way in hell that if we're up here, I'm bullish after August. Like, we have to come down here. We must come down here. If I miss it, I miss it. But how many people just shorted? If we bounce back to 74,000, they're going to get liquidated. I don't have to ask you how many people because I could see it on the chart. It's right here. Look at all the people that just piled in. Now, these people are not piling in here. That's just where their liquidation is. So they might have shorted today, but they don't get liquidated until we hit 74,000. Which means even if we go back to 70,000, you would still liquidate a little bit of people. But I'm just telling you, I'm not a good trader. I'm not a trader. I'm just venting. But you know what? You know what a good trader will tell you? Not that I'm a good trader, but I know from experience, if you're unsure, then no trade is a good trade. Because I don't lose money if Bitcoin goes to 40,000. I just don't make any money. I do lose money if we bounce and then go down. Unfortunately, we got the big bounce. I'm just not 1,000% sure we're going down right now. And that's my own flaw. I'm 100% sure we're coming down here. I just don't know when. And the correct play would have been to buy this, which I did. I bought it at like 40 something. But I always get in my own head, which is what I'm doing right now. That's why I'm not a good trader. Or maybe my gut is right and we are going to get this bounce. Because I'll tell you what, if we get this bounce, you're going to get the same entry that you had up here, just with better confirmation. Because now we know we're going down. The question is, are we going down now? And the thing that's so funny is if we go like this, everybody's going to be bullish again. Like nothing ever happened. Why? Because YouTubers will push the propaganda that we just made a double bottom, just like this. And this exact chart is why I'm respecting the possibility that we might not go down yet. We very well may. Again, I'm openly telling you I'm not sure. But I have to respect this. Because it lines up literally beautifully with my freaking expectation of August being bullish. And I'm telling you right now, if we're at 74K in August, I'm literally closing my eyes. And I'm just going to try and do something. Because that's what I did here. If you guys remember, when we were down here, everyone was, not everyone, this is an exaggeration, but the people say, oh, the bottom signal's bearish. That means we're in a bull market. And we said, listen, we should just go sideways until January. And if we're still down here in January, we know it's going down. And I got in and I closed my eyes and we went straight down. If we form some type of low and it bounces into August, we know it's going down. We know it's going down because the 4-year cycle says it needs to go down. And if it wasn't a 4-year cycle, we wouldn't be down here. But the only thing that's keeping me from being Mr. Bear is this orange line, which means if we're rallying into the orange line, but it's not a higher high, it's bearish, which means we have to somehow go from 75,000 to 40,000 in 3 months. Which also lines up with what I told you earlier, that Bitcoin does move very quickly in a short amount of time. Now, again, this is because I'm not trying to talk like a YouTuber. Like today, I'm kind of talking a little bit more than usual because my emotions are a little bit higher. But some YouTubers are teachers and some YouTubers are entertainers. I'm neither. I'm just here. But I'm speaking from my own personal feelings and experiences that At any moment, we could go down, but I am opening my own portfolio to the possibility that we might go back up. Even if we go back up and test this puppy as resistance, that would be good. Why can't that happen? I'm opening myself to the possibility. It's definitely shrinking my window of profit, but it's also shrinking my window of risk. I don't want to open myself up to the risk of us coming back to this, because then you get liquidated and now you're even more tilted. Then you say, oh, we're bullish, and then it goes down. There's a lot more to trading than people discuss when you're a retail trader like myself. So it's kind of like Wojak, but if you're not a millionaire, you're probably Wojak. Or unless you've only been here for like 2 years. If you've been here for more than 4 years and you're not very wealthy, you're Wojak. I've been here for a long time and I'm not wealthy, so I'm Wojak. I look like Wojak. I think I'm more handsome than Wojak. Today my coloring is off because I didn't shave and I have sunblock on my skin. But I'm a little bit more handsome than Wojak. But I'm okay with that. I guess you can really only trade when you're positive on everything, even though that's impossible. But that's exactly what I do. That's just how I like to trade. I like trading when I am 100% certain of an outcome. And it's very rare, but I like making those trades because I bet big. Like a lot of people trade a little bit and they make little wins over time, which is technically a good trade. I like betting heavy on something I know is certain. And when we did this, once we went back down, I knew we were going down. Like now we all know we're going down. Like we know, you know she's going down. The question is when. When are we going down? And I'm not 100% certain that it's going down now. So if I missed a trade, I missed a trade. Maybe that makes me a bad trader. But I know how it feels to lose all my money, and I promised myself I would never go back to that. Now, I did make a lot of money on this. And the thing that's really sad is when we went down here, my little voice in my head said if I was a good trader, I would close the trade here. And I didn't. So my little intuition said close the trade because I still would have been in the same amount of profit as right here. I ignored it. I ignored that little voice in my head and I got wrecked. But I gave myself an out. I said, listen, if we come down here again and it's a higher low, I'm getting out. And that's exactly what I did. If I did not close my trade here, I would be depressed right now. But I listened to my gut. I said, listen, you're wrong. We're making a higher low. Close the trade. I closed the trade. I still had a lot of profit from up here, but not as much as I had here. And I'm glad I listened because I would have lost everything. And the thing that's the most sad is we're literally right back down there. That's what sucks, is we know we're going down there. I just don't know when. So I like to make the trades when I'm 100% certain. Just like back here, because you were here, I'm pretty sure, Lord Narwhal. Yeah, you were here. Like we knew we were going up. You know, like I even made a video just for you. I said, Lord Narwhal, sound the alarm. Remember I was doing the Halo theme? We knew we were going up. So that's why a lot of us made a lot of money. The really good traders make money regardless, but that's not me. I'm a regular guy. I like to go to the beach. Not that the traders don't, but I try and worry about... Yeah, I'm just not that guy, brother. Some people aren't that guy. I'm not that guy. It is what it is. I'm not that guy. So I'm not that good. But I like to trade when I know it's going up. Like we knew we were going up here. And the thing that's really freaking sad is we kind of knew we were going down here. We just ignored it. When we went down here, I didn't know exactly what was going to happen, but I respected the outcome where once we lost 100K, even I said, listen, if we break 100K, there's just no way we're bullish. It's impossible. And that's where we are. So to wrap up the soliloquy, I like making the trades when I'm 100% certain. And I am 100% certain we're going lower. I just don't know if it's right now. So if that means I have to miss the trade, I miss the trade. But I'll say that if we get this, I will not be sitting on my hands, because why else would we get this unless we're going down? You know? And the thing is, with what I'm doing, it doesn't matter if I shorted here or if we get the bounce. The prices are going to be the same. So it's a tough, trading is tough. I'll be the first to admit trading is very tough. Maybe I make it harder than it needs to be, but it's also tougher because I go in with too heavy of a size. But that's just how I trade. I like to go in heavy so I don't have to place 1,000 trades. My goal for the next bull run is to make like 4 trades. I want to catch the low, get the impulsive move off of the low, go back into cash. That's exactly what this chart is. Why am I speaking that way? Because we learned our lesson from 2023. How many of us would have been rich if we just rode this up and got out? But none of us got out because it's a bull run, so we have to stay in. But now we know you get the impulsive move, you get out. Look at what happened here. The impulsive move was from January to April. If you took profit in April, you could have bought back in October with 10x more buying power. So this bull run coming up, I do want to try and place as little amount of trades as possible, because that's technically all you need to do. The same thing happened in 2019. We were only bullish from March to June, and then it was bearish for almost an entire year. So this whole buy and hold doesn't really work anymore. And we know that because we just sat through it. If you bought Bitcoin, yeah, it worked. If you bought anything else, I guess technically like MSTR, it did work. But if you bought Ethereum or Doge or whatever, how many 60% drawdowns did you have to sit through? I sat through like 20. But I'm willing to bet that if we do just sit here, I'm going to be much more confident. Because like, think about it. We know that if it was a super cycle, we would have went up here. We didn't. Now what I'm watching is a couple of things. One, we've never gone down without the S&P coming down with us. So unless it's different this time, which up until this point, we have now seen that it isn't. Unless it's different this time, the S&P's got to put in some type of top soon if Bitcoin is actually going to go down there. Because even in 2015, you can see that the SPY had a little bit of a drop right in here. There was a pullback of 10%. But back in the day, 10% used to be a lot. Now we pull back 10% in a week, and then it just V recovers out of there. So that's the first thing. The second thing is obviously the Moonboy chart, which is keeping me from doing anything. And the third one is... What was the third one? I guess the altcoins aren't really falling as bad, but I think we just say that to cope because they kind of are. They're all kind of back at their lows. But I think for me, it was more of like MSTR and Coinbase. Like when we were back here, Coinbase was performing extremely poor. Robinhood just had a god candle to the upside. You know, maybe I'm trying to be too perfect and that's why I'm going to miss the trade. But I learned from losing all my money multiple times, you don't lose any money if you never get in. You don't make any money. But if I'm looking for the perfect entry and I never get it, then I never get in the trade. And if I never get in the trade, then I never lose the money. And there's always another opportunity. If I miss it, I'm going to be very upset. because of everything I just told you guys with the QCOM and the SMCI and even this. But I learned to just sit on my hands and just throw a little tantrum, but don't do anything stupid. Because what usually happens is people get tilted, they throw all their money in, and then they get obliterated into the Stone Age. I refuse to go back to the Stone Age. Right now, I'm in like the 1920s. Like we're driving the cars, but they have no like power. I don't know when the cars came out. I'm gonna assume in the 20s. Maybe it was earlier than that. Right now, I got sent back into the 1920s. In January, I was back in the Stone Age. I would be in the Stone Age because I had to take care of some personal things. So luckily I did something, but I'm not going back to the Stone Age, man. You miss every shot you don't take. Yeah, and you don't get hit with the hockey puck if you don't put yourself, you don't get your neck sliced open by the blade if you're not in the game. I remember someone showed me that when I was a kid. The goalie got his neck sliced open. I said, what the bleep? Can't get your neck sliced open if you're not on the ice. Yeah, that's that's a good that's a good that's a good saying. I don't even know. I don't know who made that saying. Was it a NASCAR driver or a hockey player? We got the niche for 10 says notepad fund. I'm getting my ass handed. Selling has to stop at some point, right? I appreciate the 10, man. That is awesome. Yeah, I think there's two options for the selling to stop. I think the first option, which is going to make my stomach churn, the selling stops in July, where the bottom is, and then we get a bounce into the summer, which, but even looking at it, like I'm okay with that. I'm pretty sure we're going to bounce into the summer. I just don't know where that is. So I'm okay. Now that I'm listening to myself and I'm speaking to you guys, it brings me back down to earth. I have a certain number I want to get to by the end of the bear market. And if I don't get to it and I just stay where I am, it's going to stink, but I'll be okay. Because it would be the first bear market in history where I started with less money than I ended with. And that's a big win. So the selling is either going to stop in July and then it turns bullish and then the selling ends in October, November. This I think would be better for the Moon Boy scenario, like the actual being bullish, like the bull market, because then we could just go bullish right away. We could go bullish right in January. What I hope happens is we form the bottom soon. Everyone gets bearish. We get a bounce like 2022, and then we go straight down. Kind of like what happened here, where we went right down to the bottom. Everybody got bearish, then we shot up, then we did nothing, and then we went down. Do I know? I don't. Is there a bullish scenario? No, there's no bullish scenario. There's only down or sideways and then down. But I appreciate the 10, man. It helps out a lot. Do I think Coinbase will go to $57? No, that's way too low. I think 112 to 100. Where did it go last time? It went to $30. Yeah, that's not happening. But listen, I also have to respect that, dude, sometimes these markets go much deeper than people respect. The reason why I say that is because I can't tell you that I know that there won't be a big capitulation like 2022, where it gets so bearish that it goes all the way to $60, you know? So maybe, I mean, 57 is still way too low. That's way too low. But maybe like 80 to 100 for Coinbase. I would say that $57 is way too low. There ain't no Discord anymore. There should be. Did it get deleted? Uh-oh. I'm pretty sure if you're already in it, it should still be there. This hockey player that got a skate to a neck lived. There was a ref or someone there that stuck his finger. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that, Sean. Thanks for the story. Thanks for sharing. Not says if Bitcoin goes to the 400-week MA, like Bear Cohen said at 40K, it will be the worst bull market in history and also the worst bear market in history. This space is done. Just do stocks. I don't think the space is done. I just think the version of it that we knew is done. Yes. The version of it that we once knew is long gone. I would agree with that. Even the tether dominance is breaking out. We like I said, we know it's bearish. The question is, are we going down now or are we going to get one more bounce? I'm leaving this here. I'm going to see how well it ages. Yeah, so what's the play here? Let's check the BBWP now. Because the BBWP also tells you when it's overheated as well. It's not overheated on the daily time frame. It almost is. No, it's not. It's not overheated. Yeah, see, both times. This is a really good indicator, man. Both times it said the bottom was in, pretty much. We're not there yet. Well, unless this is a full-blown capitulation. If it's not a capitulation, we don't have to be bottomed. Yeah, wow, this indicator is so good. Look at that. When you get these red bars, you know the move is pretty much done. It's not always perfect, but like 1 or 2 bars. Wow. This indicator is nuts. Yeah, this one was, I guess it was kind of wrong. It's not perfect. What if, what if it's going straight to the bottom now? I'm not saying it's impossible. If it did, I think it would be better for the bull market because then we can enter accumulation. But I would also respect the fact that if it did come down here, we would get a big bounce into the summer. So we would kind of have to go down there by July. Like we might even be down there in June. Like we might be down here in June, which means even if that happens, there's going to be a big bounce into the summer. And then we're going to know that it's bearish from that point. So all in all, I'm just going to try to not freak out if we did go down, even though we just sat here for 4 months saying it was going to go down, because we'll know that if it does go down, then there's going to be a big bounce into the summer. And if there's a big bounce into the summer, then we're going to know that it's bearish automatically. So I'll be able to make some type of move at the very least. The future's opening in 14 minutes. I don't know. What are you guys thinking, man? You think we got another shot? What are you guys thinking? You think that's it? I mean, technically, even here, you back tested it. You guys think we're getting the back test? 72,000? That's pretty good. 72,000, that would be nuts. Or you guys think we're done? You think it's just going straight down? Did I end the poll? Oh, I ended the poll. Oh, no, I didn't. What does the poll say? Survey says yes. Chat, thanks for breaking the low. Survey says. Credit to Vision, he was the only one calling for bearish. Nah, there's definitely a lot of bears on YouTube. There's a lot of bears. The problem is a lot of the bears were like me, where we're just bearish, bearish, bearish. But I said finally at 68K, that's it. I'm done calling for a crash until later. And I did that because I saved my own ass. Like not save my ass on YouTube. Like I literally saved my ass. So now I have to find a re-entry, I guess. I think the June low would be good. Low for MSTR. I mean, I don't think there's a way to avoid the low in the end of the year, honestly. Because even in 2022, the low was here and then the bottom was at the end of the year. I don't think there's a way out of this. Like the bottom for MSTR should be at the end of the year, especially since they're raising more money now, so the market cap is going to be a little bit heavier, you know? But I would just say this. Real John Doe for 56 months, man. How many years is 56? That's oh no, 60 months. Yeah, in 4 months it'll be 60 months. Wow. Nothing happening still. Should I buy GPU stock? I appreciate the sub. At this point, I think you should just wait until November, man. We're literally right there. We got 4 more months, and then we get to run the play again. Look at his little picture. Look at the cute little profile picture. Man, that was I can't believe that was 2 years ago. You remember when you and you and Lord Narwhal? Oh yeah, that was a really bad bull run, man. It was pretty toxic, but we got 4 more months, man. If I'm you, I'm just sitting on my hands. I'm scraping together as much money as I can and probably just buying MSTR. Like why do what we already did, you know? I think when we get to the time, like late 2027, then we can start gambling if you want to gamble. But I just even if you're oh wow, Farcoin's about to break the low. Even if you want to buy stocks, I would still wait to the end of the year because I don't see how this is sustainable. There's no way Bitcoin goes to 40K and the S&P doesn't pull back. If that happens, then I would officially be shocked. But I appreciate the sub, man. Hopefully you're doing all right. Am I gonna cover you? I don't know. I don't want to go back there, man. We got to do it right the first time. We got to do it right the first time. So no Bitcoin. I mean, if you think Bitcoin's the best option for you, then I would buy Bitcoin. The biggest thing I would say is don't listen to somebody on YouTube to get your financial opinions from. Like, you can listen to them, but don't take it for gospel, because everybody has a different situation. If you're a millionaire and you're looking for not advice, but like tips or something other than advice, you probably want to listen to someone that's a billionaire. You know, I think if you're a millionaire and you need like a 2 or a 3x, then Bitcoin is probably the best option. But if you're someone like me trying to scrape the barnacles off your foot and cash it in, Bitcoin is probably not the best option. But it's not, it's a guaranteed option, yes. It's something that I've thought about, but I personally know that I can outperform because I did it last time. And they say past performance is not indicative of future results, but the next bull run is going to be even smaller. And even if it goes up by 300 well, even if it goes up by 275%, I just know off the back of my head that SPXL, which is the 3x ETF for SPY, is going to outperform that. It always has. From every bear market low to the top, you can just see how big. I mean, and the thing is, if you miss the top, you don't have to just, like, I still think you need to sell at some point, but you could technically just close your eyes and it'll go back up. That's true for Bitcoin too, but you got to wait forever. You have to wait so long. But that's pretty much where we're at. So the question here is, are we going down now or are we going down in a month? And unfortunately, I don't know the answer to that. But what I do know is there's only 4 months left of, maybe there's 5 months, but at this rate, it looks like it's going to be 4. There might only be 4 months left of the bear market. So if you didn't lose all your money, you're in a really good spot for the bull run. So with that said, we'll leave it there. We should return tomorrow. I do appreciate you guys listening to the soliloquies. Hopefully you guys are doing okay. All right, if you're bullish right now, I know how it feels. You just gotta don't lose all your money. That's my number one rule for myself. You gotta save your money before you can make your money. Don't lose it. Not losing money is more important than making money. So don't lose all your money. We only got 4 more months left, but I do appreciate you guys watching the stream. Appreciate the super chats. As always, none of this is financial advice. Stay safe wherever you are. And we'll be back tomorrow. So take care. And I will see you soon.